Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome back to our QPR career mode. If you're not all nice and caught up, then make sure you go and check out the playlist, get yourself caught up, and then of course welcome to today's episode. As a spoiler alert, as you guys can see on the screen if you're not caught up, we did go ahead and win our first game of the Premier League season. Obviously you can see the Premier League background, so that's a spoiler as well. But yeah, a pretty solid start in the end. We had to come back from a 1-0 or we were 1-0 down, I should say, and still managed to get the win and get the 3 points. So a very, very convincing start. The squad is now looking absolutely fantastic. Everyone in the squad at a gold rating on FIFA, apart from Seny, but I think he will get there. So that's fantastic. Obviously, that's really, really helpful as well. Had a couple of other people thrown a few names out there, but we did obviously sign Ferro as our most recent signing. Hasn't yet played for the club, but most likely will play in our next game of the season, which is up against Bournemouth, who picked up a point themselves for their first game of the season. But the squad overall, I'm very happy with. You could say the bench is a little bit lacking, but a lot of these are players that will come on and have an impact of some sort, rather than sort of being what you would consider starting players. You can see obviously that Linden is on a -2, which is very unfortunate. And I think realistically, if somebody comes in for Linden, despite how good of a season he had for us, we probably will let him go. Our next best striker then is Ricky J. Jones, and I don't think he is going to be our best shout as a backup striker. I'd like somebody that's at least 70 rated, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Now, something I did decide to do, and again, thank you to those who have obviously like thrown out suggestions and stuff. Something that I think I've made as a slight decision, actually going back onto that squad. You guys can see there's a lot of players here. There's a lot going on. I think realistically, from now, our budget to buy people will be our budget that we sell people for. So, we've got players like Johansson that are listed. Clark Salter might end up either going out on loan or potentially leaving as well. We've got a lot of players going out on loan, a lot of players being listed. We've got Owens listed, Albert Adoma, Dazelle, Thomas, Archer. I think Gubbins and Shadipa are both listed as well. So if we sell some people, I'll say that we can spend some money to bring some people in. Again, good couple of suggestions going forward. We've had a good couple of sort of like younger players that will potentially go up. But I've also gone through and I have had a little look at some young English talent. As I've said to you guys, we're looking at players that are going to be slightly more on the realistic side of things. So, for example, Gordon, if he ends up not playing at Liverpool very much, or it ends up being that we could potentially look to pick him up and have him as a squad player, that kind of thing. Feeney, real good young talent over at Villa. Phillips, very good little player, and I think he's got a good future ahead of him as well. Currently at Blackburn Rovers. And just basically going through a bunch of youngsters in the Prem, a lot of young English talent. Sanko was also a player suggested to me who, again, it would probably be that he would come in to go out on loan. Because he's obviously not at the rating we need now for a second sort of striker. We want someone who's at least, 70 plus, if I'm being brutally honest. But a lot of players that we're looking at, some players like Doyle, for example, has got less than a year in his contract. Norton Cuffy, less than a year in his contract. I think I didn't know I'm going to say Gittins because I'm not sure. It might be Bino Gittins. I might just say Gittins just because, sadly, I'm not great with names, as you guys know. I think this guy has got incredible potential in career mode. In the career mode series that we're doing on stream over on Twitch, which we stream every Tuesday, our QPR, not QPR career mode, a career mode. If you guys want to come in and say hey, I'm fairly sure within like the second or third season, he was like high 70s, sort of 78, 79. So he might not be as realistic right now with us picking him up. But again, depending on how the progression of the series goes, Gittins could be the kind of player that we do look to pick up. But yeah, players like Devine or Divine, I think it's Devine, probably saying that wrong as well. Patino, great little player. Hackford's currently on a free, but I think is probably going to be about 64 rated. So again, not really ticking that box that we need. But some good youngsters who have got real good potential, and some of them, their contracts are looking to be finishing sort of around the end of the season. So it could be, for example, let's say we managed to pick up, let's say, Doyle on a free, for example. That's a great pickup for us. Good young talent, English, so it feels that level of realism. Leaving from a team like Man City or, like a Chelsea or like an Arsenal, one of the bigger teams in the country, going to a team that's in the Prem, but they're more likely to get a little bit of rotation, bit of game time kind of thing, if that makes sense. That's kind of my thought process here. But yeah, I think for us to pick any players up from this point, we'd have to sell because we spent a lot in this transfer window. And as you guys know, I do like trying to keep levels of realism. I do like trying to have, that FFP sort of situation. We've spent £41 million. Obviously, we'll make some money from being in the Prem. We obviously will sell a few players, and we have sold a player or two. But I think realistically, we'd need to try and get a little bit of money back. Otherwise, FFP is going to be knocking at our door. But that's kind of it for the start of this. I think the next best thing to do is jump into Bournemouth and go straight into that game. I'm going to be using the team you guys see here. This is the squad we are running with. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. But before the game starts, let's very quickly hear from today's video sponsor. Do you need some more coins for your FIFA Ultimate Team? Then look no further than U7Buy. They're the cheapest and most reliable place to get your FIFA Ultimate Team coins. And if you use code HURSTY at checkout, you'll get yourself an extra discount. I want to say a massive thank you to U7Buy for sponsoring us. Don't forget that code HURSTY. Now let's get back to the video. Loftus Road is back in the Prem. QPR living life with the big boys, and it's great to see us play a Premier League game at Loftus Road, at our second home. Home away from home for me, and I absolutely love going there. Cannot wait to go back there, actually, after Christmas. Our first home game post-Christmas. Going to be great to go, and obviously looking forward to being back there. And our first game comes up against Bournemouth, hopefully trying to get 6 from 6. It'd be great to have a real solid home record. Honestly, just finding some consistency in the Premier League would be fantastic, and it'd be great for that man right there, Mr. Hutton, to get himself on that score sheet. Obviously didn't find the back of the net in the first game, but 2 of the QPR faithful in Chrissy Willock and Ilias Chair were there to save the day. Without further ado, let's go for it. Come on, you ours. Ball in the middle of the park here. Going to play that wide to Willock, who turns his player really, really well there. Chrissy Willock going to try and bring this ball forward. We're going to play across into Huttons. He's not exactly the biggest aerial threat, but it dropped to his feet. And after the second bite, the cherry hits the post, does go out for a goal kick. But that first shot, the fact he got that one away was phenomenal by itself. But Neto with a solid save. I maybe should have taken my time with the second one there. Maybe shouldn't have taken the shot. Maybe should have tried to sort of drag back and see if someone like a Vega or an Ilias were going to be in there to try and help him out. But really solid start there. Really, really good start. Break of play here as one of the Bournemouth players has gone down. It was pretty innocuous. Didn't really seem like much going on. It was him and Rico Henry going for a header. I wonder if it's going to replay it here. But the player just kind of went down and stayed down. Yeah, it will show it here. Look, just Smith there. Look, just not really loads happening. It's almost like afterwards him and Henry had a bit of a tangling of legs, but he's going to make his way off the pitch. Not Richards, it's Fredericks, sorry. Fredericks is going to make his way on the pitch. So yeah, early change for Bournemouth just to keep you guys in the loop. Bellerin with a bit of an overlap here. Going to try and play it quickly to Willock. Doesn't quite get the pass through, but finds a pass the second time around. And boys, I'm afraid it is probably going to be a sweaty... Oh, it wasn't actually a sweaty. It was a sweaty attempt. But mate, Hutton suddenly not having the time of his life in front of goal. I've asked him to kind of take a touch. I've moved the end log indicating for him to sort of step up, turn himself, and then play it on his left. He hit it first time on his right, and it's a very comfortable save from the keeper. Bournemouth bringing this ball forward, plays it inside. This is not looking good. It's their first chance of the game. It's just like the Leeds game. We dominate possession. We dominate chances. They get one chance through, and it's 1-0. This is the difference between the Championship and the Premiership, though. You come up against these that next level of player, the slightly higher quality player, the Premier League quality, and they're going to punish you as soon as you give chances away. And that is Becker, the ex-Union Berlin player, I'm assuming. Finding the back of the net. Seny, there's nothing he could really do there. One-on-one against a player that close to the goal. It's always going to be tough. But it's 1-0 to Bournemouth. It's very much against the run of play. But it makes those chances that Hutton missed just that little bit worse for having missed. 1-0. Henry with work to do here to try and stop the cross. They're going to play it along the floor, inside to Becker, inside the box there. Ferro comes across and makes the initial tackle. Dickey tries to get in the way. Seny Dieng making a very good save at his close post to keep it at 1-0. Yeah, they've just sort of found a little bit of a burst of energy with that first goal. And since then, it's kind of all been Bournemouth. They've had a lot of the ball. We've not really offered much since them going ahead. So we just need to try and get our foot on the ball a little bit. Try and get ourselves back into the game. Because, again, we were definitely in the ascendancy. But Bournemouth mounting up chances here. Obviously, with another corner. Going to try and stop the cross from coming in. Ilias doesn't get that initial tackle in there. He's going to take it past Henry. Well stepped in from Ferro. The shot from the Bournemouth man does go over. But I think with a bit of help there from, I think it's Vega who gets in the way he does. He gets a little foot on that one. I think they're going to play this one into the box this time. They do. Go on, Seny, that is yours. I honestly thought he missed that. Play the ball over here. Ferrer's going to have to come across and try and help cover Bellerin. But now I've left that space. It's clean through again. Seny Dieng making a fantastic save. Becker with another chance. Seny with another save. And yeah, since the goal, that has been the catalyst for this game. It has been all Bournemouth since then. We have created no real chances since going 1-0 down. And we really should have been 1 or maybe 2-0 up if Hutton hadn't wasted a couple of chances that he had. But Bournemouth looking pretty good for it since the goal. And we've got a lot to do. We've got some work to do. 3 shots overall for Hutton, 2 of which on target and 1 very much against the post. But yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. Bit of an uphill battle here. I don't think we're going to make any changes just yet. I think Howe could be a good option to bring on maybe over to Silva or Fred to try and add another sort of ball player in the middle of the park. Someone who's going to be a little bit more forward thinking than defensive. So that'll probably be over Fred. And maybe Lecco at some point for some pace. But you know what? I think we've got the best 11 on the pitch at the moment. This is our best squad. So if they can get us out of it, that would be preferable. And then the subs can be more of a sort of an impact rather than a panic. Got to be careful here as Bournemouth attack. Again, that ball through was very, very nearly a problem. Oh, and I've tried to be clever with Henry. And Seny yet again saving the day for us. Knocks it out for a corner. I tried to do too much. That ball roll is the most stupid thing I could have done there. Just play it away, Tom. Just get the ball out of the box. But they're going to play a short corner here. Ring plays it to Becker. Becker going to try and get past the Silva. Doesn't have to try very hard. Just sort of turns him. Henry trying to close down. We're just having our own problems here. But a good win there from Bellerin. Ilias Chair is going to try and make a run forward here as Willock has got the ball. Going to find him. Hopefully, Kelly's going to try and get there. Ilias so nearly gets it. It's not quite the one, boys. An hour gone. It's still 1-0. Lovely ball through there. Billing is one-on-one against Seny Dieng, who is very much keeping us in this game. If we manage to get anything from this game, a lot of it will be thanks to Seny Dieng having an absolute heroic amount of saves. And that ball from Willock is not what we needed to see. Hutton could have been through there. Oh, Becker through again. It wouldn't give me Rob Dickey straight away. It was trying to give me Ferro, and that could have been a problem, but we do get that one clear. Chair here with a bit of a chance here running up against Kelly. Going to turn inside. Lovely turn from Ilias. He's going to try and turn again. Does so. Keeps it. Not entirely sure how. And Ilias Chair finds the back of the net. Very lucky to have kept that ball. So he's grabbing it again from the goal and taking it straight to that centre circle. Because, boy, do we need to make the most of some time here. The time is very much against us if we're going to push for a third. But look, that there. Poor defence from Bournemouth. Ilias picks up that loose ball between the two of them and does find the back of the net in off the post. Little kiss off of the woodwork, and it's exactly what we needed. Not too long left, but enough time to try and push for a second. We have made some changes to try and encourage that and help it along the way as well. 2 goals in 2 from Ilias Chair. But De Silva, Vega and Henry coming off. We've got Howe. We have Lecco and we have Laird all making way onto the pitch there. So new left back CDM and left cam or left mid, whichever way you want to look at it. Hopefully, injection of fresh pace on sort of the left-hand side with the left back and the left mid or left cam will hopefully add a little something to us here and give us a bit of threat on this close side here. And Ilias Chair going to keep running through now. Oh, it doesn't go to where I want it, but it does find its way through eventually. And the same duo of Ilias Chair and Chris Willock in back-to-back games in the same order have turned the game around. We are well and truly the comeback kings right now. And Ilias Chair and Eddie Howe, that's not even who I mean. Dexter Howe's our player, but Chris Willock and Ilias Chair absolutely instrumental. That one a little bit near to Lecco, but with how close he is and the power he's hit it at, it's a comfortable finish. It's a really, really good finish, and boy, do we need it. But we need to stop conceding first. We're making it an uphill battle every time. But 2 and 2 for Willock, 2 and 2 for Ilias, and it's absolutely things you love to see, boys. Let's go. Got to be careful here as Bournemouth pushing forward. Bellerin's going to try and keep his man out. Willock back now doing the defensive work. And Seny Dieng going to calmly grab it. We're just going to take our time here a little bit. No rush, no reason to throw the ball out quicker than we have to. Let's get this ball up the pitch here. Ferro going to look forward and find Lecco. But it doesn't matter. Boys, we've done it again. And I'm not entirely sure how this time. I don't think we really deserved much from that game, especially looking at the latter parts of the first half and the sort of early parts of the second. But it feels like a good win, boys. It feels like a good win. It's one we needed. I don't know if it's one we deserved. But as I said earlier on, if we got anything from this game, it was massively down to Seny Dieng. And boy, did Super Seny live up to the name today. Well, back-to-back 2-1 victories. It sits as nice and comfortably in the Prem right now, but the Carabao Cup is our next port of call. So that is what we'll be focusing on next. Going to have a bit of a rotation, and we're going to start the game off in probably, actually, you know what? We might do a play highlights. We've not done one of those in a while, and it's the Carabao Cup. Out of all of the cups, it's probably the one you're least worried about as a fan. Another one of the youngsters, Chris Kennedy, going out on a 2-year loan to Sligo Ravers. Rovers? Yeah, Sligo Rovers. I know it's Sligo Rangers. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so up against Luton, obviously having a pretty good time of things in real life, playing a pretty good season, having just got a win yesterday from the time you're recording this. But yep, we're going in with, as you can see, an incredibly rotated side. Not many players that even really get minutes anymore getting into the starting 11, but we're going to do a play highlights because, again, we haven't done many of these. It helps us get through the series nice and quickly with slightly smaller games like this one. And the Carabao Cup is not a season like a cup that we're too crazy fussed about this season. If I was being even more ruthless, I probably would have quick simmed it. That's how little we're worried about the Carabao Cup this season. However, we do get a penalty nice and early on here, 20 minutes in, not even that. And we do get ourselves a penalty here. Lyndon Dykes going to step up, aiming to that top left. Finds the back of the net. Lovely stuff indeed from Mr. Lyndon Dykes. Back at a goal will help his confidence out a whole bunch, seeing as he is not really getting all that many minutes at the moment. But Adebayo now with a run through on goal. Laird trying to catch him. Adebayo with the space, though, is going to find the back of the net himself as well. 1-1. Very quick reply in regards to highlights, but that was actually like another 15 minutes later. But still in the first half, we're going to have a chance here with Johansson free kick. One that you would probably normally see being crossed into the box. However, we're going to try it here with Johansson. Going to aim to curl it towards that close post. Not a bad effort, probably needed more power on it, however. But we've got a counter in the second half now, 70 minutes in. And we are going to try and work our way forward now with a counter-attack. How? Going to try and play a ball through here to Lecco. Does so pretty well. That's a really nice ball, actually. And Lecco is going to look up. He's going to see our man, Ricky J. Jones, jogging on the spot. Absolutely waiting for that ball to be played across him. It is. And that's 2-1. Lovely, lovely stuff. 20 minutes to go and however many highlights we now have from here. None, in fact. Luton also got a player sent off. That might have been from the penalty. I actually didn't pay attention to that. But with the highlight system, we have made it through the first round of the Carabao Cup. Things you'd love to see. I know there was a little bit, obviously, of like umming and ahhing about the highlight system. Obviously, it's not as clean as it would like to be from a lot of players. If it worked better, we definitely would be using it more often. But because of the issues we had, Carabao Cup is probably the only place we'll use it. Maybe some early rounds of the FA Cup. We'll see. But the cup games have now been and gone for, I think, today's episode. I don't think we have another cup game. But we're going to jump straight into our next Premier League game, which is up against Tottenham Hotspurs. No Harry Kane in the starting 11. Don't know if he's on the bench. Not too sure. Otherwise, a pretty strong-looking squad, let's be honest. They've got a very good team. However, they've only got 1 point so far this season. One from a possible 6, while we're sat comfortably on a 6 from 6. Away from home, though, could be a very tricky one. A stadium that at some point this season I will have the absolute luxury of going to thanks to work. That'll be phenomenal. Cannot wait to go there, as I've been told nothing but incredible things about the stadium. It really is supposedly the best in the country in regards to all the advancements and sort of the just how good the stadium is, if that makes sense. So it'll be amazing to go and check it out at some point. But we have the luxury of playing it in a video game today. We're there virtually, so that will have to do for now. But hopefully, again, as I said in the first game of the episode, this man here on your screen can find the back of the net, having a bit of a Darwin Núñez moment in not really finding the back of the net and not really making the most of possibly some chances he could have had. But we need to put those behind him, and we need to try and find the back of the net with him today. A win today would obviously be absolutely phenomenal. We've gone straight into this league and started incredibly well. If things start to get too like, oh, hold on a second. Oh, I was going to say, if things start to get a little bit too like, you know, I don't think we're going to win every game. I mean, you guys have seen we're conceding first so far in both games we played against. If things get a little bit too much like, you know, maybe a team getting promoted wouldn't be sat 9 from 9. Sometimes it happens, but obviously not often at all. We'll look at settings. We'll look at either tweaking some of the what's it called? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. You guys know what I mean. Tweaking the settings and things and changing a few things. The sliders is the word I was looking for. But what an effort that was. I think that was Sun cutting inside, no? And then a very good save yet again from Seny Dieng. This is why, boys, I didn't want to replace Seny. He does have his absolute moments of just being an absolute baller and absolutely saving our day. Our knight in blue and slightly darker blue armour. But Ferro here bringing the ball away. Ferro is absolutely, I was going to say he's storming, but that pass to Hutton was not the one. Ferro, of course, now out of position, but De Silva and Fred both covering very nicely in front of the back line. Good tackle there from Hector Bellerin, and hopefully we see this one out. Richarlison on the ball in front of the back four. Son with an effort from range. Seny Dieng with a fantastic save, trying to mark the pass there, and I almost left Basuma in absolute acres of space, but I was trying to stop the pass across to Lucas because that would have been problematic as well. But Son going to play this one short to Basuma. Can he get that ball in the box? He's going to take it past Chair. Does run it into the box now. Going to take his time. Great tackle there from Ilias, who's got the ball now, brings it away, and Henry is going to try and maybe start a bit of a counter here. Going to look up, finds Hutton. You know what? He's making some great runs, but the passes to him at the moment are letting him down. De Silva on the ball. Can we have a better pass to Harvey Hutton? It's not a great pass, but it's an even worse touch from the defender. And that there is a fantastic finish from our man Hutton. That is a beautiful goal. Harvey Hutton finally finds his first Premier League goal, and it is a very, very nice one. A little bit of luck. Again, the balls have not been great, but it comes off of Romero's shoulder. He just watches it, and it bounces off of his shoulder. It really is shocking defending, but the finish is fantastic. You can take nothing away from that, right in that bottom corner, and gets it past an absolute world-class keeper in Lloris. But he finally finds his first Premier League goal. This young man is going to be here and be our superstar in the future. I know it for sure. He is definitely going to be an absolute legend of this save this year. And hopefully that is the first of many. 1-0, boys. We didn't go 1-0 down. Harvey Hutton here with the ball bouncing off to him a little bit luckily from a very, very big deflection in the middle of the park, but a lovely pass out to Chrissy Willock. Willock with a great turn as well. Inside, Hutton going to look up and find Ilias. Very unselfish, and the shot is just wide of the post. I maybe could have kept it there with Hutton and tried to turn and take the shot myself, but I thought, you know what, that run from Ilias is absolutely screaming at me to lay it off, so I did. The shot wasn't bad, but it was just the wrong side of the post. That would have been a truly phenomenal bit of play, and 2-0 to the good at half-time would have been absolute dreamland, boys. Loose pass from the defence there. Going to play it all the way to Vega. Vega plays it into Hutton. Boys, we should be 2 or 3-0 up. I cannot believe we've squandered another chance in front of net like that. It's not a bad effort, but it's far too near to the reef. Gets a hand out to it. Strong hand to palm it away and palm it wide. That's so unfortunate, boys. We're going to whip this one in there. Chrissy Willock going to play it in. Ilias is the man. I need to stop aiming this ball at Ilias. I probably should take the corners with Ilias so it's not aimed towards him for these crosses. But Chrissy Willock's going to try and turn Davies. Does so fantastically. Drives it across. One touch too many. Probably should have played it across with the first touch that he had, and that is probably going to be all she wrote for this first half here. His son has it, turns and is going to find the whistle blown. Boys, what a fantastic start to the game. We've absolutely been all over them. They had a good chance with Son early on and a great save from Mr. Super Seny, which again at this point we've kind of come to expect now. But mate, we've been unfortunate to not be a couple more to the good. That chance from Ilias just wide of the post, the chance from Hutton just a little bit too central. But we have been really, really phenomenal, I have to say. I'm just going to see very quickly if they do have Kane on the bench. They do. So Kane is on the bench. They're just deciding not to play him. They've got a decent bench here. They've got some decent players. Troy Parrott's still at the club as well. But I think for now, I think we keep it as it is. I don't see a need to change it right now because, again, we're playing well. We have more time between games 9 times out of 10 when it comes to the Prem. Not as many midweek. So you can kind of afford to keep your main players out a little bit longer than you can in the Championship instead of thinking like, we've got a game in 3 days. Better take him off or better take them off. So, yeah, I think it's good to keep the strongest 11 on as long as you can. Son going to play it across to Richarlison here. Just wide of the post. That was a really nice bit of play. Oh, someone got a touch on that. I don't know who stopped it. I'm going to assume Seny because Dicky was sort of coming the other way. You'd think the ball would have been knocked the other way if it was Dicky getting the touch. But I'm assuming that was Seny Dieng then that got a save there. Davies making his way off the pitch for Bentancur. So potentially a change of formation here. Potentially going to a 4 at the back. Hold on a second. Rob Dickey getting across to it well. I've not cleared the lines well at all. Bellerin getting a touch. Boys, we are absolutely living life dangerously. Davies hits that one wide. That very easily could have been 1-1. We need to calm it down a little bit. When I had that ball with Dicky, I should have just got rid. I'm too often trying to pass it out from the back instead of just booting it, and I need to get out of that system in this career mode. Elias Che here, back and doing some defensive duties, playing like a left back there, and oh, dearie me. Oh, that's shocking. Dicky realistically has to do better there, and Seny Dieng definitely has to do better. We've been pigeoned on, boys. You cannot accept that. But that is poor, poor work. Lovely cross from Son. Ilias trying his best to get back there, but Dicky completely misses it. And Seny, that really is a poor dive from Seny. He really should be doing better in that instance there. Ferro just kind of doesn't really go towards it, which is a shame, but Seny reacts too slow. It's straight at him, for goodness sake. But it's going to see Lucas Moura come off, and we're going to see Harry Kane come onto the pitch here. I'd be surprised if Kane is going to end up playing on the left. It looks like he's playing central with Richarlison there, so it could be the two of them, unless it is going to be Kane sort of playing in off the left, which would surprise me. But we've got a ball chance forward here as well ourselves. It isn't going to play out for us. They're going to play it back, but we might make a change here and see if we can maybe have a bit of an impact off the bench. Bellerin here with a bit of space on the right-hand side to bring this ball forward. We're going to try and look inside and find Willock. He does so quite nicely. Willock now. That's Ilias, sorry. Going to bring it across. And look who's there. Boys, I'm not even sorry. I'm not even sorry at this point. We needed to find the back of the net, and Harvey Hutton has done just that. 2-2 for the young man now. Lovely play from Ilias Chair, not from Chris Willock, my apologies, but a lovely bit of play. Bellerin, the former Arsenal man, getting that ball up there, getting it across, and then obviously Ilias doing exactly what he needs to do, puts on a plate for Harvey Hutton, who finds the back of the net. A quick response to the Spurs obviously getting back into the game. Conte looking absolutely fuming. But I have just made some changes that are very attacking. I was hoping to try and get us back into the game here. You can see Ilias and Ferro parting way for Dunn and Dykes. We've gone to a 4-2-4, back to our sort of formation we were playing earlier days in the last season. So we've got a two-man system up top now. It's still, DMs are staying back. It's still the wingers coming back to help out. Fullback staying back. I didn't go like crazy overboard, but I did take off a sort of midfielder for a forward. So it means that when we get the ball up there, we've maybe got a bit of a chance of holding it up there and maybe find some extra players. But we have got to be careful now with a player missing in the midfield. Oh my God, Seny, do not roll that out. I wanted you to throw that, my dude. Jesus Christ, that was terrifying. But yeah, we've got to just be a little bit more cautious here, not to let them spring chances on us. But Willock here going to play it across to Linden. Linden, little ball roll into Davies. Not quite what I wanted, but Linden now, can he get the cross in there? You know what? Not bad at all from Linden Dykes. Not necessarily a sort of get the ball to your feet and try and get the ball in there deal, but he did very well at it. Seeing them make a change, we are just going to freshen up the midfield a little bit. Fred's stamina, by the way, is truly phenomenal. He definitely just keeps going and going and going, which is fantastic to see. Going to take off, you know what? Can Lecco, he can't really play striker. Vega can, sort of. Let's put Willock on the left, Lecco on the right, and Vega is going to play. Can I make him centre forward? Does that help at all? It does. There we go. +2. Things you love to see. Take Hutton off, give him a rest. Field coming on, just solidifying, proper DM, get him on there. I bring on, you know what? I am going to bring on Laird. He's still not crazy fit stamina-wise, but it's more stamina than Bellerin has. Just fresh legs at the back just to stop some of these chances going forward. We know how good Laird has been in this save, how good he's been for us in the career mode. But yeah, Hutton, Bellerin and De Silva making way for Lecco, Laird and Field with, just short of 10 minutes on the clock. There's plenty of time to for more to happen in this game. We just need to make sure if it does happen, it happens at Spurs' end, not at ours. These Spurs knocking this ball around lovely here. It's been a real pain to get this ball off them. They've just been playing proper tiki-taka. Little clever passes like that. It drops to Kane, drops to Richarlison. Dickie's not going to get there. And again, I have to say, that feels like it was so near to Seny Dieng that he should have done better there. I mean, realistically, we have to look at the replay to fully confirm that. But I've been sat here saying how good he's been for us. Don't want to get rid of him because he makes so many good saves. But it feels like both the goals today from Richarlison feel like they've been avoidable, feel like they've been savable. That's so close to him. You'd think he's going to get that one, but apparently not. Very good effort indeed, and it's 2-2 with not long on the clock here. It's scored in the 90th minute. We've taken off Hutton, we've taken off Ilias, so two of our main goal threats, you'd really say. But here's Willock with the ball out wide. We are going to have a chance to try and create one last thing here. Ideally, don't want the ball going that far backwards, so we're going to try and play it forward here. Get it to Henry. Henry. bursting down the left-hand side here. Has the beating of Doherty. Henry's going to get it across. Okay, corner. Come on, boys. Come on. Thankfully, the ref is actually giving us a bit of time here. I need this to be the perfect corner, Vega. It's not a bad one. Linden heads it over the bar. It was a really good corner. It's straight to him, puts it on a plate for him, but it's headed over, and it's frustrating to drop points. Imagine, though, we've just been promoted. We've come up against Spurs, and we're frustrated with a draw. If that doesn't say how well this team is doing, how far the squad is already coming along, then I don't really know what does. But I'm genuinely really happy with the result. If you ignore the fact we were in the lead, very happy with that indeed. But 2 Richarlison goals ends up with the points being shared rather than going to us. But yeah, you can see Seny did make some good saves. 3 of the highlights being saves from Seny, so I can't be that mad. But both the goals, sadly, slightly frustrating to concede. As you can see, talking about the equaliser from Richarlison, it is frustrating, but there's not loads to be done about it. We tried our best just to, again, as I was saying in the build-up to that second goal, the tiki-taka they were playing was genuinely incredible. It's what I expected from Legendary when we got promoted. You know, I felt like we were getting a little bit lucky with some of the chances we were getting and how well we were performing. It felt about right to come up against a team that were just going to knock the ball around us for fun. But you know what? 3rd place, I cannot complain. Look at that top 3. Villa, Everton, QPR. It's things you love to see. I'm fairly certain at some point things are going to start tumbling down around us just a little bit. It is what it is, though. We've played pretty well. We're looking pretty decent. And sadly, again, for me trying to get these out a little bit more consistently, the episodes are just going to be that little bit shorter for the sake of editing time for me. So today we are going to round this episode up here. Going to try and go through around 3 games an episode if I can. Fingers crossed we happen to do that most of the time. Hopefully we keep up with it. But for now, guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please leave a like on the video. Supports me, the video, the channel, and the series out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to watch us on our live streams, it's Testy Games over on Twitch and on TikTok. We do stream on both. Links to both are down in the description. While you're down there, make sure you check out our channel sponsors as well. Massive thank you to them for supporting the channel. It really, really does help so much. But that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands in a bit.
Slap bald head, yeah, it'll probably hurt me. Bang top bins, it'll probably hurt you. Ginger, streamer, platform, YouTube. Drop a name in the chat, we'll say hello. Entertained, yeah, you already know. Capital H, yeah, I'm a read it slow. Thirsty Games, yeah, you already know.